Well, housing continues to hurt. Existing home sales are down 3 months in a row, falling to an annual rate of 4.9 million units last month. That's the lowest level in 3 years. Let's bring in PwC Partner and Business Development Leader Mitch Roschelle. Mitch, good to see you.
Good morning, Lauren.
You know, you look at this data, prices, they're still going up, but at the slowest pace in 7 years. Is that a good thing?
It's not a bad thing. You know, I've said before, affordability is the biggest challenge in the housing market. So if prices are going up, but at a slower pace, that's actually good, and it may let some people in the housing market that feel like they've been left on the sidelines.
What about first-time home buyers? It seems that they're taking a step backward. And we were doing a study earlier in the week, reporting on that study. It showed that millennials really want a home. They just can't afford one. They'd go to jail for a week, the study said, in order to get a home.
They'd also give up avocado toast, I believe,
yes.
but that's besides the point.
And their iPhone.
Yeah, I think that's besides the point. But the fact of the matter is, this has been a long story for a long time, and they're slowly creeping in. The biggest challenge is, and one of the silver linings in the study that came out the other day, is more supply is entering the market. So we're sitting in February. We're about to hit the home buying season in a couple of months. Mm-hmm. And if more baby boomers put their homes on the market and there's more supply, that's going to be good for millennials, because the thing that's really freezing them out is really more of a lack of supply than it is price per se.
And mortgage rates have come down since the start of the year. The 30-year fix stands at 4.35%. So that should help as we come into the spring home buying season.
Yeah, I was very worried about where rates were headed, and that could have been a bigger problem. But right now, rates being where they are, which is roughly around the same level that they've been for the last several years, bouncing around maybe by a quarter of a point. So it's really not an interest rate issue. It's really a fact, the matter of, do you have the down payment? Do you want the home? And is there something to buy? As
we talk about how Democrats are moving very far left as we gear up for 2020, their proposals, specifically the Green New Deal, what challenges do those pose to the housing industry? I don't think that, and by the way, the framework of that Green New Deal doesn't have a lot of meat to it. Maybe meat's not the right point there, but the fact of the matter is, some of the rules that they're talking about probably have a bigger implication on office space and commercial real estate than housing. Why do you say that?
Because they're talking about making sure that all buildings are green, but that could leach into the housing market. And if you start putting more and more requirements on builders that make it very difficult for them to eke out a profit, they're just not going to add to supply. And we've seen that before with local regulations where they start putting environmental constraints on what home builders have to add to houses. And when they start doing that, the home builders just respond by saying, we can't recoup that price, we're just not going to build those homes. That has contributed to why we have low levels of supply in the market in terms of new houses. Yeah, and we saw here in New York City, you know, you attempt to just change out some light bulbs from incandescent to LED lighting. How many union workers and at what expense does it cost and take to change one bulb? It's nearly $2,000, so you add that up. Yeah. Every building in the U.S. Mitch, good to see you. Have a great weekend. All right, Lauren, have a great weekend.